Shopify Masters is powered by Shopify, the easiest way to sell online, in person, and anywhere in between. To get an extended 30-day trial, visit shopify.com/masters.
Pretty much just hype up our order deadline for getting it guaranteed, December 25th delivery. And then after that, we tried to hype up our gift cards.
Hey, my name is Felix. I'm the host of Shopify Masters. Each week, we learn the keys to success from e-commerce experts and entrepreneurs like you. In this episode, you'll learn how to automate Facebook messaging to promote products, how to create a gift guide to target holiday shoppers, and how you can keep on driving sales all the way up to Christmas Day. Today, I'm joined by Jeremiah Robinson from Beloved Shirts. Beloved Shirts makes all kinds of quirky, fun designs on shirts, hoodies, onesies, and more, and was started in 2013 and based out of Provo, Utah. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell us about some of your most popular products.
So it's kind of been pretty random for us. Like in the early days, I would say what really got us on the map was we did an Oliver print sweatshirt with Oprah's face on it. And BuzzFeed picked that up, and we kind of went from overnight after that happened from being just a little experiment for fun into being an actual business. And that happened about 3 months after we launched the Shopify store. So in March of 2013.
So you mentioned that it was kind of an experiment to see, exactly what would happen. Did you have any experience launching businesses or products in the past?
Yeah. So before that, I actually used to sell weight loss supplements online. So I had my own store. It wasn't with Shopify. This was way before that. So I did have some experience with Google AdWords and, just hiring a team to do the SEO on that site. And we did pretty well with it, but I had since kind of exited that industry and wanted to get into clothing. And I was just really experimental at first. We were just joking around. It actually started even before we did the shop. I started an Instagram account to show our concepts, which we did on Photoshop, just pretty much mocking up sweatshirt designs. And based off of that Instagram account, I saw a lot of interest, and that's what kind of led us to, launching the Shopify store. And things got pretty serious after that Oprah sweatshirt, to be honest.
Did you? What kind of success did you see with that Instagram account? Like, were you getting a lot of followers, a lot of comments? Like, what did you see in reaction-wise that made you realize that this thing had legs?
Yeah, so we just got a ton of traffic on the site. So I guess before this happened, before that BuzzFeed article launched, we were doing about like $300 to $500 a day in sales. And then literally the night after we saw that article go online, we did $16,000 that day. And then, the next day was, I think it was around 13 or 12,000. And it continued for the rest of that week doing, we were averaging about $7,000 to $8,000 a day for a whole week. And then it slowly tapered down to about 3,000 a day. And kind of has remained like that ever since. It hasn't really dipped much below that. That really just put us on the map, and things started to circulate, people sharing our products online. And we kind of thrive off of the viral attention. So I don't know if you've seen recently, we did this hairy chested swimsuit. Mm-hmm. It's basically a man's hairy chest on a one-piece swimsuit. And that definitely made the rounds. CNN featured it, and it was global news, actually, that hairy chest design. So we kind of experienced that, time and time again, just like little viral spikes.
Yeah, I see it on the site. It's pretty funny. But you mentioned that even before any sales came in, you tested the waters, just by posting your concepts, your designs on Instagram. Did you see people? What did you see? What did you hear? What kind of receptions did you get from people that made you realize that you should pursue this further?
Yeah, so people were actually really wanting us to produce these shirts instead of just teasing them with the concepts. So, and at the time, sublimation wasn't really popular in fashion. It was more, this technology of Oliver print was used more for sports apparel, like soccer jerseys and things like that. So it was really hard at first to actually develop the product. I ended up finding this manufacturer on Alibaba that did hoodies and jerseys, and they ended up doing the crew neck sweaters for me. And it wasn't the greatest quality, to be honest. And right when this Oprah thing happened, Chinese New Year came into play, and we had a lot of angry customers because of the delays there. So, I was really frustrated with the whole manufacturing supply chain side of the business, and now everything's made in California. So we brought it to the U.S. and it's running a lot smoother now.
Did you have to raise prices when you brought it over to the U.S., or just take a bigger hit on the margins? Like how are you able to make it work?
No, in fact, it actually remained the same, if not a little better with our margins, because what we were doing with China. So since the beginning, just so you know, we were set up as a made-to-order business. So we wouldn't stock any inventory. Like we took the orders up front, and then I guess now they call it print on demand. But back then they were making these sweatshirts for us and shipping them to my house, actually, and we're shipping them out of our basement based on the orders that came in. So there was definitely a large turnaround time. But the way they shipped it to us from China was with DHL Express. So that added quite a bit of cost on there. And then, now that we're doing it in California, we eliminate that large DHL expense, and it works out to be a little bit, better for us in terms of the margins.
That makes sense, that if most of your products are already in the U.S., most of your customers are in the U.S., then you can save costs there too. So it's not always going to be more expensive just to produce in the U.S. You guys obviously made it work for your business. Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier that you first got started in supplements and then now moved, of course, over to merchandise and shirts. What was that transition like? Were you able to bring a lot of what you learned over from a different industry to a new one?
Yeah, so I actually started out just with eBay. At the time, they're called HCG drops. They're weight loss drops that I was messing around with. It was really just something my wife was interested in, actually, and I saw that they were selling quite a few of them on eBay. So I did my research and started to order some small amounts of inventory and get involved with that. And then that led to me starting my very first online store. And from there, I actually got involved with the private labeling side of weight loss products. So I launched a contract manufacturing company, and we did private labeling for other brands like me to sell, their own branded weight loss products. And I since have sold that business. So now I'm just fully focused on apparel.
And based on your experience in having successful businesses in two industries, what kind of key, identifiers do you see if you were to pick a niche or another industry to go into? Like, what kind of key benefits of a particular industry make it easier to start and run a business in?
So are you referring to the supplement industry?
Well, both, because you have experience and you had successful business in the supplements, and now you also have a successful business in the shirts and the merchandise. Are there kind of key overlaps between the two that you notice in those industries that make it maybe easier or advantageous to be in those industries?
Supplements, it's tricky. Like the margins are huge, but it's really cutthroat. Like, there's a lot of competition. And you just have to be really competitive with your pricing and somehow try and get the traffic, which was hard for us to do at the time, because we didn't have Facebook marketing at all. It was just all SEO, and we got fortunate to do well with the SEO, which led us to have a successful store there. But if I were to start a supplement company today, I wouldn't really know what to do because the practices were so different back then. I'm assuming, you can't advertise weight loss products on Facebook. So you'd be stuck with, maybe Google AdWords allows it. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, for the apparel industry, at least for our type of product, it's all about building hype for us. We want people to be really excited about the products. They're super unique. So we kind of thrive off of that, shock factor, I guess you'd call it, the WTF factor. And it really, fits well with our brand. People naturally share this on Reddit and Twitter and Instagram. So we're heavy into social media for Beloved Shirts.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about the design process. How does a shirt or a design go from, or how do you come up with the ideas, and then how does it end up actually ever getting onto a shirt?
Yeah, so the beauty of print on demand, what they call it now, and being made to order, is speed to market. So literally, like what we do as a team here at Beloved is we're constantly having fun with the internet. Like we call ourselves almost, I guess you could refer to us as internet whisperers, because we love to look at what's going on Reddit and in the meme sphere, and we base our design ideas off of that for the most part. Of course, like there's some fun things we like to jump on, Stranger Things, Rick and Morty. We like to do a lot of apparel inspired by those shows, but for the most part, we really like to just shock people. So we're looking for stuff that will either confuse people or just draw a lot of attention that way and blow people's minds. And once we come up with a design, it's honestly, it just takes about a day. We just have to panel them into cut and sew panels. That's how we do the manufacturing. So the sleeves and the torso and the neck ribbing, and our designer lays the art out for that, so it's ready to go. And then we just publish it to Shopify, and as orders come in, they're ready to go straight into printing and manufacturing.
So with so many shirts, so many designs being made, what is, I guess, what would you consider your success rate of a design to actually having a shirt or any piece of merchandise that is, what would you consider successful?
You mean success rate based on like the amount of products we're listing, like which ones will take off?
Yeah. If you put out design, do all of them end up selling and being something that you want to continue to have on your site, or do you curate over time what actually ends up on the site?
Yeah, definitely not. There's a lot of designs that don't do too well at all, but the way we're set up, being print on print to order or print on demand, is we can publish as many designs as we want. It's not really going to be an issue. We don't carry any inventory. We actually like to have this large database because it helps when you do have that select niche interest and someone's wanting to search for ramen noodle t-shirts, so they're going to find it. Like we just have a huge database. And this is actually, when we were on Shark Tank season 7, this was kind of an issue for the sharks. They were they weren't too happy about the amount of SKUs I had on the site, but I don't think they really grasped the whole made to order side of the business. Like, I think that's effective actually. And, I haven't tapped into, optimizing these product listings in a way that I should. I'm trying to, but, what we're starting to do now is tag each of our products with a theme tag in Shopify. And we're building theme-based collections so that, everything can be easily found. And, we're just trying to make it a lot easier for people to find what they want. And the fact that we have so many products on the site is only, helping us out and helping us be stronger.
Yeah, I think a lot of listeners out there are in the merchandise and the print on demand and the t-shirt business. What kind of advice, or what would you say is the most important aspect to keep in mind when designing a shirt that is the goal of the shirt, at least, is to generate as many sales as possible?
So, a lot of it has to do with traffic. Like, of course, you got to have a good design stuff, something that people would like and want to wear and buy. But, you need traffic to it. So what we like to do is just, with our designs, we like to shock people, right? So it's something that we think is easily shareable, like especially in a Facebook post or a boosted post or an ad, where people are going to tag their friends just because it's so funny or so shocking. You need to wear this. Like right now, we did an ugly Christmas sweater with the hairy chested design, the man's nipples on it. He has actual Jingle Bell Christmas ornament piercings on the nipples. So, that one kind of did the same thing as our swimsuits, almost. Like I think we've sold already 500 units of that sweatshirt. Whereas the next popular design on the list in terms of sweatshirts might have sold only 30 in the last few weeks. So you can see the crazy spikes that happen there, and we kind of rely on that. Like we like to, and this might not be the right fit for everybody in print on demand, but that's just how our business model is. Like, our whole mission here with Beloved is to help complete strangers start conversations with each other on the street. Like, I love that aspect of our apparel where people that might be introverted or shy naturally can finally experience, some attention and people coming up and wanting to talk to them. And, if you look at some of our reviews, like we've had, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, but he wore this Kim Jong-un hoodie that we had. And he said, like, for the first time in my life, a beautiful woman came up and talked to me on the street. And I just love hearing stories like that. And I'm an introvert myself, so I kind of, I love how the apparel helps me express myself, and people can realize that I'm not just this quiet, boring guy. There's something else there if they get to know me. So
yeah. So when you have a design, it sounds like the approach is that you put this on a product and you create a mock-up of it, and then you post it on Facebook and drive traffic to it with a boosted post.
Yeah. So our process, for the most part, when we don't have a pay-per-click expert working with us, what we do in-house is, we'll naturally post to Facebook maybe once a day or so with new designs or whatever media that we have. It could be a video clip of our products. What we'll do is if we start to see that get some viral attention, we'll immediately boost it, and sometimes even just reboost and see how long we can ride it out. And from there, if it really was a success for us, we go ahead and convert that into an ad. And another thing we've been messing with recently, which I think is really powerful for us, is we use ManyChat for Facebook Messenger marketing. And we do what's called a growth tool in our boosted post, where we can set this up in ManyChat. So if someone comments on the post, we'll follow up automatically. This is completely automated with just a link to the product and saying thanks for commenting. And we kind of put that as a heads up in the actual caption of the post, because you don't want to just surprise people like that. You need to say, hey, comment below and we'll PM you with a discount or whatever. And that's been really successful for us recently.
That's cool. So they leave a comment and then you send them a private message.
Yeah, and that's all done through ManyChat with one of their growth tool features.
Mm-hmm. And do you need to have that Facebook user liking your page to begin with before you can message them, or can you message anyone that commented even if they're not a fan of your page?
No, you can message anyone who comments, and we have to kind of be explicit about that, in the actual caption of the Facebook post, saying we're gonna, PM you with a discount or whatever it is that we're saying. But yeah, they don't have to be a fan, and if they do reply to that ManyChat post, then they automatically are opted into Messenger. They become a subscriber in ManyChat. But we make it really easy for people to opt out if they want to. They just type stop or whatever.
Oh, that's cool. So they're now subscribed to your chat. Just it's basically a chat bot at that point, right?
Yeah. And
got it.
We haven't used it for too long, but we've been kind of coordinating our email blasts with ManyChat, doing similar condensed campaigns.
So based on your experience so far, even if it's limited, what's the setup like if someone joins or opts in to receive your chat bots messages? What do you usually hit them up with first? What are some important messages to send a brand new subscriber to your chat bot?
So we kind of treat it similar to email. If you're going to opt in on our site with email, we'll follow up with our welcome message and give you a 10% discount. And we do the same. We have a little welcome message in ManyChat. And then from there, I haven't messed around with too much in terms of the automation and setting up a prospect welcome series yet in ManyChat. I know you can do that. We've just mainly been using it for broadcasting, sales or campaigns.
Got it. And so you mentioned that one of the emotions that you try to pull out of people with your products and when you advertise your products is this shock factor, this WTF factor, like you mentioned. Based on your experience, what are some other reactions or emotions that you think work well specifically on Facebook?
Yeah, so it's not all about the shock factor even for us. Of course, that's what our primary focus is, but we also like to cater to people's passions and interests. If somebody is literally obsessed with pizza, we want to give them an all over print pizza shirt. So we kind of like to put ourselves in their shoes for different interests and demographics, just trying to find out hey, what would they really love to wear? And, people love to show off their passions, especially in their clothing and their t-shirts. So yeah, I would look at that specifically, just something that's going to really draw in. If they're obsessed with Rick and Morty, come up with some really cool apparel inspired by Rick and Morty and stuff like that.
So do you find that your demographic, your market is pretty widespread in terms of the type of people that are interested in your products, or is it pretty concentrated?
It's for the most part, I would say a younger crowd, like whether anywhere from high school through, college age. But, I would say people up into their 40s are still buying our stuff, especially if it's a niche interest. A lot of movie lovers, Star Wars enthusiasts, like our brand. We have a lot of Galaxy prints, and we even kind of mesh well with the EDM space. So ravers like our clothing, got a lot of prints that cater to their needs. And but yeah, it's mostly the younger crowds, to be honest. And we get a lot of grandparents shopping for their grandkids. So yeah.
Now, because they do fall into different niches, the EDM niche, like you mentioned, or people that are into specific movies. Does that make your marketing or your targeting harder?
You know what? Like, I don't personally do a lot of the Facebook ads myself, so I haven't messed around with a lot of these audiences. I'd have to, look into that more with my PPC guy. I actually just brought on somebody who's developing a bunch of ads for us. So, but yeah, I think we like to, base our audiences more off of people that have bought something. So that, for example, these sexy chest swimsuits, the hairy chested swimsuits, we have a segment already in our Facebook audiences of people that have bought that. And it's a lot of people that have bought it. So that data right there is pretty powerful. If someone's going to buy a hairy chested swimsuit, they might be interested in the hairy chested ugly Christmas sweater or something like that.
Got it. Now, you mentioned that you brought on recently a PPC guy, some kind of Facebook ad expert. How do you work with somebody like that? What's required in terms of your commitment to them to get this program off the ground?
So it's been great so far. Like, we haven't really needed to do much with him. Like, he's been great with just coming up with copy and of course here and there, like we could provide him with graphics, but for the most part, a lot of the media is just on our website, pulling product images and things like that. So, but it's fairly new. This is within the past couple of weeks. So we're kind of on standby, especially for Black Friday, of what types of graphics or content he might need from us. That's where we shine, coming up with funny captions too. So we can definitely help with that.
Got it. Now, you mentioned lots of movies. You mentioned Rick and Morty. So I'm assuming there's lots of licensing and legal that needs to happen when you do produce merchandise or T-shirts or shirts with those brands. Can you talk to us about what goes into that?
Yeah. So, we have done official collaborations in the past, but when it's something that we don't have licensing for, we just trying to keep it vague, like more inspired by instead of actually using their logos. And it is a gray area. Like, it's a risk, and a lot of people are taking that risk of, intellectual property, and even if it's inspired by it, it's still kind of crossing the line a little bit where it could be something that you get a cease and desist on. We've had plenty of them, but it's just part of the business, and we take that risk.
So the first step that happens if you do, tread into this gray area is a cease and desist. Like they usually don't take any, I guess, more drastic measures above that initially.
In our experience, not really, especially in print on demand. If you're doing a lot of wholesale or inventory, then it's a different story. But, a lot of these cease and desist, for example, we did one called I think it was the puppy, monkey, baby, pug, like from the Super Bowl, that Pepsi commercial. So we did a sweatshirt with that, and we got cease and desist from Pepsi. And, we reply, our lawyer drafted a letter in response and, mentioned the amount of units we sold. And, we took it down, obviously, because that was their request. But from that, they didn't follow up any further because, only 3 or 4 units sold of that. So it's really, I think it just depends on, the volume. And but for the most part, print on demand doesn't do a lot of volume, and there's no inventory involved, so it's not as big of a risk, in my opinion.
Right, because you don't have to hold on to this inventory that you may have to essentially get rid of because of the cease and desist as well. Now, it sounds like a lot of your business is built on getting this viral attention, and we talked a little bit about how you use Facebook to kick off some of this attention. Are there any other channels or platforms that you use to help at least get the ball rolling on a lot of these new designs?
So let me see here. So aside from Facebook, definitely Instagram. From the beginning, that's really how we were discovered, was through Instagram. And yeah, we were also on Twitter, but Facebook's been great for us lately. And Reddit naturally just happens from other people coming across our site. And yeah, it's kind of gotten to the point now where I honestly don't even try and strategically craft these responses at all, because they just happen. We know they happen, the brand's circulating, and people are like, there's enough traffic there to where people are going to share the funny stuff they find from our site, or the stuff they're passionate about, or whatever,
Right, because you have a big enough base nowadays just to get the stuff out to them, and they will essentially kick off the virality for you if they like the product.
Exactly. And even with our Facebook audiences, like the reason before why I didn't really have much to say in terms of like what demographic or interests in my targeting, we have so much data already from past purchases and customers, just based on our products. Like, as you can tell, like there's a lot of different themes and categories of products that we have. So we can pull a segmented audience for just people that have bought pizza related apparel, and market to pizza lovers. And so it's a pretty good setup right now that we've been in business a few years.
Got it. So obviously you mentioned that there are so many products on the site because you don't have to hold inventory. Everything's printed on demand. How do you think about organizing the site? Like, what goes into deciding what goes on the front page, and how the categories are organized? How do you think about all of that?
Yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm experimenting now with I have a developer that works for us, Shopify expert, and I'm trying to develop some more automation there in terms of like what's truly trending on the site, and like the most viewed products versus the most purchased within the last week, or last 3 days even. And I want to kind of set this up to be what's featured on the homepage. Right now we have a trending section and a new section, what's new, but this is all kind of guessing on our part. Like, we just kind of eyeball it and put what we want on the site. But that's kind of next level for me, is I want to automate the on-site, like optimize our on-site experience as much as possible. Kind of like Amazon does. Like, they just know what to show you,
Right. And you mentioned most viewed or most purchased. So far, what do you think is better? Should you show the products that people are looking at the most, or show the products that people are buying the most?
So the problem, I think, right now with the setup that Shopify has for best sellers is I don't think there's a way to display it in a collection based on a date range. I think it's the best sellers of all time. So the actual trending view that we have is based on most views, which we use an app from Power Tools. I think it's called Power Tools that does that. And you can sort your collections based on trending. And it's like, the amount of views within the past 7 days, I think. So it's pretty cool, like, that we have that, but I'm still trying to figure out, like, if there's an app out there that can do it based on purchases within a time frame. That'd be helpful, I think.
Yeah, I think time frame makes sense, right? Because otherwise your probably your oldest products will always show up first, since they probably get the most views of all time and most purchases. So you probably want something a little bit more timely, a little more relevant. Now, of course, you mentioned earlier about being on Shark Tank. So let's talk a little bit about that. The story, why don't you tell us about it first? What did you go in looking for, and then what happened at the end?
So Shark Tank, we auditioned at the University of Utah. It's kind of random, just like last minute thing. And at that time, we were collaborating with Katy Perry. We did a holiday collection with her, actually. Sorry, that happened after Shark Tank. But before that, we were already collaborating with her on the pizza onesie. She was wearing it on tour. So I kind of brought a little printout image of her wearing our pizza onesie at the audition. I don't know if that helped our chances or not, but I think it did. And, so from there, I got a call back saying that they wanted us to go to LA. And from there, they take, I think it's, only 20% of them. I don't know the exact figure, but, we had to kind of, audition again to see if we could actually make it onto the show. So, we ended up filming in September. shoot, I don't even know what year now. This is all foggy to me, but it's season 7. I think it's episode 21. And we filmed, it's September, and then it aired in the following March. So yeah, it was kind of nerve wracking waiting that long, but the whole experience was good. My whole strategy going in there into the tank was I got to be extra nice to the sharks, because I know they can pretty much eat you alive if you come across as cocky or, somewhat rude. So I was really polite, and I think it turned out well. Like, they had some fun with me in, certain parts, and some of it they didn't even air, thankfully. But, I think like what Damon said, I don't know what he compared me to, but I was dead to him at the end. I know that. He gave me an offer and we couldn't come to terms. So
yeah, you did some negotiations and ended up walking away. How hard was that?
It was intense. Like, I was there probably for almost an hour of talking with them, and they drilled me hard on metrics. And I think that's partly why Mark Cuban backed out soon, as I guess I didn't have the right answer right there on the spot for him in terms of customer acquisition cost or something like that. But anyways, it was intense. And afterwards they make you meet with a psychologist. It's mandatory.
Wow.
A lot of people have like mental breakdowns, but it was okay. Like, my wife and kids were there. Even my son was on the show with me. That was fun. He's the pizza kid. I don't know if you've seen that meme of him.
I've definitely seen the episode.
Crush likes pizza. Yeah.
Nice. So you mentioned that BuzzFeed got you, tens of thousands of dollars in sales for almost a week. What were the results from being on Shark Tank? Was it the same or more?
Yeah, it was a really good spike. Not as much as I anticipated, to be honest. I have a neighbor of mine owns Mission Belt, and he took a deal with Damon, and I know he got a bigger spike than we did. I think if you take a deal, you get a better spike from what I hear. But yeah, for, that day, of course, there's like, 30,000 people on the site that day, that it aired, and it aired in the East Coast first and then California. So it's kind of funny just seeing the different spikes, but, yeah, for about a week, it did pretty well. And then whenever it re-airs, we get additional spikes, which is nice. But, to tell you the truth, our hairy chest swimsuit, got us more traffic than Shark Tank did. So it goes to show what viral shock factor can do. It's even more powerful than primetime TV in some cases.
Yeah, it probably makes more sense for the type of audience you're targeting as well. They might not all be watching Shark Tank, but I'm sure they're online and seeing these products. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm seeing on your site. You're using a few different tools that I hear entrepreneurs using all the time. So I would love to hear your take on it. So you have a couple of things on here. One thing I've noticed is that you have the pop-up that slides down from the top that essentially asks if you want to be notified, essentially, I guess, for any updates. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Like, what does that app do, and how does it help your business?
Are you talking about Wheelio?
No, we can talk Wheelio in a second, but it actually pops up and slides down. It might be only on Chrome. I'm not sure, but
yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. That one's new, actually. It's Recart. So we're trying to mess around with the Chrome browser push notifications for retargeting, and they also have a messenger retargeting feature as well. Like, if you click on one of the products, you'll see that there's a little checkbox for add to messenger or whatever. When you're adding to cart, it'll kind of set you up to get remarketing in messenger. And at first, I think you could have that pre-checked. I don't know if it's showing pre-check for you now, but Facebook changed their terms, so I think it has to be unchecked by default. And that's why we put in this little discount incentive there under the add to cart button that says, like, get updates in messenger and you'll get a discount or something like that. But yeah, we're messing around with it. It's still kind of fairly new to us. We don't know, enough results to really decide how long we'll keep it for, but I'm excited about the idea. ManyChat doesn't do abandoned cart remarketing. We use that mainly just for like welcome series and, just campaigns, but Recart is specifically for abandoned cart.
Got it. And when for Recart, how does the abandoned cart remarketing work? Is it just sending me notifications through my Chrome browser if I opt in?
Yeah, so that's different than the messenger one. So Chrome would be kind of similar. Like, it'll, I don't know how many hours after, it's going to send you a reminder of what's in your cart. And then I think we have it set up for like the next day, it'll like do another reminder saying, hey, and this one will probably have the discount code in there, more of an incentive. And I think there's a third. So I think it's a max of 3 that we do. And this is the same process we do with email. We use Conversio for abandoned cart email marketing. But yeah, the Messenger one is completely different from the push notifications with the Chrome browser. That'll end up going to their Facebook Messenger app, and it'll show them, our messaging reminders of what's in their cart.
Yeah, and you have this spread throughout your site of pushing people to Messenger rather than, I guess, your more traditional sign up with an email address. Is there a reason behind your focus on Messenger rather than, or over email at least?
I don't know if it's over email, because we do, like, that Wheelio pop-up is pretty prominent. Like, we get a lot of signups with that. It's actually pretty effective for us. I think since we've enabled that app, we've captured over 30,000 email addresses through Wheelio. Recart, it's more just strictly for abandoned cart marketing. Like, our actual subscribers for Messenger is done with ManyChat, and we don't have that anywhere on the site. Like, there's nowhere someone can opt in. So what you're seeing in terms of Messenger is strictly abandoned cart strategy. It's not someone opting in for our campaigns.
ManyChat only happen if someone's commenting on your on a Facebook post, and that's what kicks off their potential opt-in into ManyChat's Messenger program.
Yeah, or if they simply message us. So if they go to our Facebook page and message us in Messenger, that'll opt them in, and they'll get a welcome message, and along with a message that says, if you want to unsubscribe at any time, type stop. So we make that pretty easy for them too.
Mm-hmm. And do you have someone monitoring any messages that come in? How is that managed?
So that's the funny thing with ManyChat. It's impossible, especially for a brand of our size, to keep up with the messages. So we kind of have this little, I think in our welcome message, or maybe we have a default reply in place right now where it says like, we're not human. Like, this is a bot, like, so they're kind of do it with a little bit of humor and say, if you want to talk to a human, email us or click here to go to our support page. We use Reamaze. It's kind of like Zendesk for customer support. So we have a little help center there, and that's what we link to from that ManyChat reply if they really do want to talk to somebody instead of a bot.
Got it. So I want to talk about Wheelio. You mentioned that has been successful for you, and they kind of came on the scene, and lots of stores have installed it. Talk to us about what it does for anyone out there that hasn't had experience using Wheelio.
Yeah, like, I haven't really read into all the research about it or anything like that. I just know it's been effective. I've seen other people using it, so I naturally wanted to try it. And it kind of gamifies the experience of, they get this little wheel where you can enter to win. You got to put in your email, and the incentives are impressive. Like, we have, we give away a free pizza necklace. It's like this pizza slice pendant necklace that if they land on that one, and then other parts of Wheelio would be, like a coupon code. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the interface, and people tend to like it. So we end up showing it, I think, after 60 seconds of browsing on the site, and then it won't show to people that have already used it. And I don't think I have it set up for window abandonment. I might have at some point, but I need to look into that again.
Mm-hmm. Now, one other cool little thing that I like about your store that I don't think I've seen any other store do is that when I have the tab open, but I leave the tab and go to another one, the title on the tab that belongs to your site says, "Come back, we miss you," and it's basically rotating between those two messages. It's very eye-catching. It makes you do go back. Did you use an application for that?
Yeah, it either makes you go back or exit out, because with my OCD, I can't stand something calling for me like that. So it's effective. Like, I love that. And this is, I think it's called Please Stay. It's an app, and the dude's genius that made it. He actually has another app called Chester that I'm messing with, which I think would be huge if he can figure out the algorithm for it. But it's basically like this online shopping assistant. And I have it installed, but it's disabled right now, because right now it's just showing like a sort order of products from alphabetical order instead of like what's trending or what's best selling. But once he develops like the optimization of that, this little tool is amazing. Like, you got to check it out. Like, the interface is rad. It's just this little online shopping icon thing. Like, it's this guy named Chester, and yeah, I'm hopeful about it. But he also developed that app called Please Stay.
Awesome. Yeah, I like it. It's definitely eye-catching, and you're right. It makes you want to go back just to kill that notification, or I guess eventually leave if it's too annoying. So
Yeah.
one other last thing that I want to talk about that's on your site that I see in others as well is the pop-up notification that in the corner or in the bottom that lets the user, the customer, know that someone else has purchased an item from the store. What is the reason for adding this to your store?
Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about it because it's like kind of annoying to me, but then again, I think it's doing a good job. Like I don't know who convinced me to leave it on there. Maybe it was one of my employees, or possibly the app developers. I think it's called FOMO, fear of missing out mentality, where people are buying these out, and I don't know how effective that is with print on demand because there's no inventory involved. It's not like it's going to go out of stock, but it is kind of cool to show what people are buying. Just giving people ideas if they're because our site can get overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff there. So to see like what people are actually buying might kind of motivate them in my mind to, check it out or see something I like.
I think at the minimum, it at least reassures you that there are other people that are interested in this as well, and adds a little bit to the trust factor that there are other customers that are trusting, to buy from your store. I mean, it's probably not as relevant for you now that you are already a large established brand, but maybe for a new store that needs some more credibility, I can see that being certainly beneficial.
Yeah.
Now, you not only are selling on your site, you're also selling on Amazon. Talk to us about your experience there. Was this something you added on later? Did you start on Amazon first?
Yeah. So we use an app called Shopping Feed. It's kind of expensive, but for us, it's worth it because of the volume we're doing now with Amazon, where it's syncing it all with Shopify. So our whole print on demand supply chain, all the logistics, any order that comes in on Amazon for us routes through as a Shopify order, and then it'll go through our system for manufacturing. So I tried in the past to sell on Amazon without this, and it's just a nightmare, trying to import these things manually with CSVs and all that. So Shopping Feed is a really powerful tool. It even helps you optimize your Amazon listings in a bulk manner. So I just do all kinds of rules in there. And it also works with Etsy. We did try selling on Etsy, and Etsy banned us for some reason. I guess they're not a big fan of print on demand, but I'm hoping to try again with them because we did like in our first week, it was like $800 through Etsy. So I was like, well, might as well, the more channels, the better.
Yeah. Doesn't Amazon have like strict guidelines on shipping and manufacturing time? Is that ever an issue for your business?
Not if you specify it. So Amazon does have a setting there for turnaround time. Like you can specify, I don't know when you shop, have you ever seen like where it says it'll ship by this date or in stock by this date? So we're very conservative with that. Like I think our turnaround time on Amazon, we make it even longer than on our website just to be safe. So
got it. So as long as you specify with the customer, then Amazon has no problem with that.
Yeah, and another thing we've just started messing with Amazon too, which I think I'm excited about if we can come up with a good system and process for it, is whatever is viral or selling really well on our site, I want to start pre-making those in bulk and sending to Amazon to sell as Amazon Prime, FBA, because obviously you're going to convert a lot more if it's Prime instead of the large turnaround time. So I've messed with that with the hairy chested swimsuits, and I'm starting to research more of our best sellers to try it as well.
Got it. Now, how large is the team nowadays to help run this business?
So in the past, actually, when we were on Shark Tank, we had about 20 employees, but that's because we tried to manufacture ourselves. So we had our own heat press and warehouse, and it was we quickly learned that we weren't good at manufacturing. It's not our strength. We're more in design and marketing, and so now it's all outsourced to California. But and because of that, we're down to a team of, I would say, about 7 of us, and not everyone's full time. Some are part time, and we all work from home now. Like my designers in Colorado, and I have people in California. Even my assistant, Lindsay, she used to live here in Utah, but now she's living with her husband in Thailand. They're doing some fun adventures there, and she's able to still work for me from there. So it's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. How do you keep everybody on the same page and organized?
So we use Slack, which is awesome. And we also are starting to use Reamaze a lot. Like we'll tag each other in there for certain issues with customers. But for the most part, Slack works well for us just for communication.
Got it. Now, what do you spend most of your time doing?
So I'm kind of obsessive over the website, and it's kind of it's good and bad. I think I get a little bit too obsessive sometimes to where maybe that wasn't the best use of my time. So I do focus a lot on the site and working closely with my developer on how to improve it. I'm also dabbling with ideas for new designs. I love that part of the business, so I like to be involved with it. And then, of course, just strategy with the team, like on our upcoming sales and campaigns and what we're going to do.
And over the, let's say, last year, what change have you made on your site that has had the largest impact on your conversion rate and sales?
Trying to think here. Our conversion rate really hasn't changed much. Like we hover around, to be honest, around 1%. Of course, that's going to go up during, this month, even it already has through the holiday shopping, but it's just the nature of the beast, when you're in print on demand and, this is more expensive apparel we're dealing with because it is all over print, sublimation, made in California. So yeah, we just kind of live around that 1% conversion rate. But, I think it actually is starting to go up now that we have a pay-per-click expert, a Facebook advertising expert, because when we get more targeted traffic, it does go up. But a lot of our viral traffic, especially from Reddit, doesn't convert well. It's just people having fun. I've even had people at trade shows. I went to Agenda once with Beloved, and these guys came up to me just saying that one of their favorite things to do, or one of their favorite things that they did the other night, was just get high and look at our site. Like they love to just browse around. It's more of an entertainment experience for a lot of people.
Does that affect the way that you do things like remarketing when you do have a lot of essentially window shoppers that are coming that probably will never buy, but they just like they're browsing your site for entertainment reasons?
Yeah, so I'm thinking about that a lot more lately, like trying to incentivize more on our remarketing. Just like people that in their mind made up that they're just a window shopper, they're not going to purchase, to actually like throw them this crazy deal and see if we can, seal the deal with them. But yeah, it's something I've been thinking about. I haven't really come up with a good strategy yet though.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's a challenge that a lot of stores have that have these viral products that get a ton of attention, but then even if it's a lot of traffic, they're probably generating a lot of sales, but there's only a small percentage that are ultimately converting. That it kind of might screw up with their data and analytics if they aren't careful. But it sounds like you're definitely recognizing that. Now you this is now again the end of the year, end of 2017, big time for gift shopping and for people that are buying presents. Do you change up the way that you present the site, or change up the way you're doing your marketing to target people that are buying presents for the holidays?
So yeah, we're pretty much in Black Friday, Cyber Monday mode right now, and our strategy is a little different this year. Last year, we did a lot of flash sales, and we kind of hyped up a fun interactive experience where, every few hours we were changing the category that was going to be on sale. But this year we're trying something new. We're actually trying to increase our amount of subscribers on our email list. And so what we're doing right now, if you notice the pop-up on our site, is we're using Privy to announce that, we're going to give early access to the Black Friday sale if they opt in. And in fact, we're even going to give them a little bit deeper of a discount code just for subscribers. So we've already built a landing page gift guide that'll be shown just to people that are subscribed to our email list. And they'll also have early access, meaning on Thursday instead of Friday, they'll be able to shop all of the Black Friday deals that we have posted up and be able to use a promo code that's even deeper than what they would get on actual Black Friday. And for the other strategy on actual Black Friday, this will just be a site-wide discount code that'll be available to anyone, regardless of whether they're a subscriber or not. And we're going to then put up our gift guide on the homepage. So we have kind of a mini holiday gift guide that we feature on the actual homepage, and then a larger version if they were to click to see more. And our goal with the website is honestly just to make it as easy as possible for people to find what they want. So you'll notice on our site, we have a ton of different categories: pizza shirts, sweets or junk food, Stranger Things themed. There's a whole collection based on memes. So we kind of have these categories divided out in our gift guide. And we just label this section called "What Are They Into?" and they can shop by category. We also have some that are sectioned by gifts for her, gifts for him, customized products, because we do a lot of custom. Putting your dad's face on a sweater or a blanket for his holiday gift. We have one for stocking stuffers for our accessories. And then there's the price ranges, like gifts under $25, gifts under $50 or under $75. And that's pretty much the way we have our gift guide laid out.
Got it. So you mentioned that you did flash sales in the past during this shopping season. What were the upsides and downsides of that approach?
Yeah, so the only downside to it, honestly, was the amount of stress it put on our team. Constantly changing the website every couple of hours, especially on Black Friday when we wanted to get out and shop ourselves. It's stressful. Our first year doing flash sales, we actually had an issue with our website, not because of Shopify or anything. It was an app we were using. I think it was Product Discount. There was some bug where it wasn't discounting the prices in time. So we got a lot of angry shoppers saying that they couldn't get the flash sale deals when we announced it. And so yeah, there's some risks there if you're going to be updating the site regularly, hoping that apps are running smooth, because servers get overloaded. And I'm more of a fan of just keeping it simple, and I'm excited to see how it works out this year.
Mm-hmm. And back when you were doing flash sales, how long was each sale lasting?
So we kicked it off with our ready to ship blowout. So all of our customer returns or inventory that we wanted to clear out, that was like the main thing, the doorbuster sale that we did, insanely low prices with discount coupon code on top of it. And then after the doorbuster, we kind of led into different themes. Like, one of them was, I think it was, what was the next one? Like a gym sale or something, like with only for tank tops and leggings. And then we did another one for like a pizza flash sale for pizza related merch. And even like towards the end of the day, we did a sleepover sale for our full body Belovesies. They're actually zip up onesies and blankets. And we kind of kept it themed and made it fun that way. And tried to, and we did blast these on Instagram and Facebook as well the moment the flash sale happened, and we had a really fun video to go with each. So it was a fun experience. It was just really stressful and a little risky in terms of, are we going to get the site ready in time? So.
Got it. And what made you start with the doorbusters, the really, really good deals that were ready to ship and steep discounts?
Yeah, honestly, we like to clear out our inventory. My whole business model, it's print on demand, and I am not a fan of inventory. I hate inventory. I want to get rid of it. So I'm pretty motivated to do so. And Black Friday is a great time to do it.
Got it. And do you think this kind of model works beyond Black Friday as well? For people that are maybe don't have the time yet to prepare for the Black Friday or Cyber Monday, and are wanting to prepare just for that time leading up to Christmas. Can you run these kind of sales regardless?
Do you mean the flash sales?
Yeah, the flash sales. Do they work after Black Friday, before Christmas?
Yeah, so after Black Friday, like we honestly, the flash sales that we did last year were just Black Friday, but then we did our weekend sale, which was Black Friday weekend for Saturday, Sunday. And that did really well for us as well. And then we did change it up for Cyber Monday to have a completely themed sale just for Cyber Monday as well. So we kind of, just changed the site up for each of those different events. And then after Cyber Monday, we pretty much just hype up our order deadline for getting it guaranteed, December 25th delivery. And then after that, we tried to hype up our gift cards. And in fact, our designer put together a pretty fun interactive printout. We call them printout presents, where, whether they order a gift card, or even an actual product that's going to be on the way but not delivered in time, they could print out using his PDF template that he built, an actual image of the product, like a thumbnail image of it. And it was pretty fun. Like, he has a way to fold it into a nice pizza gift card or Galaxy print gift card, which is a fun experience for people that are procrastinating and didn't get a gift in time, it's still something, especially a custom gift. If you do a really funny one of, your friend or your loved one's face on a shirt, and you can let them know that, hey, this is custom crafted. It's going to take some time, but it's on the way. Merry Christmas. That's another good way to spike.
I like that approach where just because the customer is beyond the ship deadline, the deadline that is required before, in order for the product to get to them before Christmas, doesn't mean you should stop trying to sell them things, and you shift the focus to products that don't have a shipping deadline, like gift cards, for example, things that they can print at home, or maybe even digital gift cards, so that you can still sell them things that doesn't require shipping, essentially, so that you can get around this deadline. And the second thing you mentioned, or earlier thing you mentioned, was about these order deadlines. Did you find that kind of urgency pushed people to buy right before that deadline?
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of people obviously want to get it before Christmas. So if you're putting a concrete deadline there for guaranteed December 25th delivery, it's going to create a sense of urgency. And we have a pop-up for the site that we did last year, as well as at the very top of our site on the navigation menu, we had a little candy cane icon with print or holiday order deadlines, and it led to that actual landing page. So
very cool.
I think it's a good tool, and it's important for your business too. You don't want to be upsetting a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Now, this gift guide that you have created, you mentioned that there's a mini holiday gift guide on the front page, and then there's more if they click into it. Can you say a little more about this? Like how's this set up?
Yeah, so it's not set up right now on the site if you were to check it out, but last year we did, and we're planning on doing the same this year, where we have our homepage banner and a couple blocks underneath, and maybe even some featured products that we want to show on the homepage. But I also created an actual gift guide block or section of the homepage with some nice holiday lettering, saying holiday gift guide. And then we just included a condensed view of what our actual gift guide landing page would be, what we think would be the main most important categories to promote on the actual homepage, like gifts for her, gifts for him. A lot of people divide their site by men versus women. And then, of course, custom products. We want people to see that. So I'm pretty much just choosing maybe, 5 or 6 blocks that I want to put on the homepage, category blocks. And those would obviously link directly to the category they need, or they can click to view the full gift guide and go to our landing page that we have ready for them.
Mm-hmm. How many products do you put into each of these categories?
So it really depends on the size of the collection. Our pizza collection contains, both t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, blankets, you name it. Most of our product types have a pizza print. So it's a pretty decent sized collection, maybe a few pages. But then there's a more specific niche. Let me think, for example, Donald Trump, we have maybe just a few items up there, or the BFF collection. That's where, best friends can order matching. Like we have an avocado tea that has the pit, and the other one is empty without the pit. So things like that we put together into these unique curated collections. And then, of course, aside from the themes, we have actual product type categories, such as here's the t-shirt collection or the hooded blankets, and then they can browse all the different art on those product types, which we'll showcase in the collection or the gift guide.
Yeah, and around this time of year, because you are going to get a ton of traffic, do you typically reduce the number of changes that you make to either the marketing or the site, other than adding in things that are holiday specific? Do you try to reduce all of that, so you kind of freeze the site during this time so as to not to risk anything, or are you still willing to make a lot of changes?
I honestly make quite a few changes, especially to the homepage around the holiday season. I think that's the time to do it. You really want to, go after the theme for holiday shopping and get people into that Christmas spirit. So, yeah, I'm all about even adding, a little snow feature, falling snow on the site. I think that's kind of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jeremy. So belovedshirts.com is the website. What do you have planned for the next year?
Well, next year, I'm actually rolling out my very first Shopify app. We're going to be doing print-on-demand manufacturing for other brands like Beloved. It's already released in beta. It's called Sublimation Kitchen. If you go to the website, sublimation.kitchen, you can see it. In fact, you can install it to your Shopify stores right now, but it's not in the App Store just yet. And next year, we plan on fully rolling that out and and having a nice, powerful platform for people that want this same type of product.
Very cool. Obviously, you have tons of experience, so I'm sure that's going to be an amazing app for people to check out if they are interested in selling products like yours. So again, thank you so much again for your time, Jeremy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Here's a sneak peek for what's in store in the next Shopify Masters episode.
I think a decent amount of people, especially on Facebook, actually watch a lot of videos with no audio.
Thanks for listening to Shopify Masters, the e-commerce marketing podcast for ambitious entrepreneurs. To start your store today, visit shopify.com/masters to claim your extended 30-day free trial. Also, for this episode's show notes, head over to shopify.com/blog.